Ever wondered how much money a self-employed artist makes? Well, today we are spilling the beans and showing you where our money comes from and how it can stack up to create a sustainable, real income. I'm Alana, and this is my business partner, Katie, and we are two self-employed artists, and we are on a mission to help you do what you love and make money doing it. A lot of people, when they think about a self-employed artist, think of, let's say, Van Gogh sitting in his apartment, struggling to make ends meet and sawing off his ear because he's miserable. But that's a terrible business model to be thinking of. We're gonna squash that starving artist stereotype. We're just gonna go ahead and cancel it. Let's start fresh with some new ideas. We've found that one of the most important things is to stack multiple income streams to create a sustainable business. Here you can see a pie chart that breaks down where my income came from, and you can see I put a lot of eggs in different baskets. It means you always have a backup plan. It means you always have a different stream that you can pour your energy into if one isn't doing so well. Or if you just don't want to focus on one right now and your energy needs to be pulled in a different direction.
So now we've got that straight, let's talk numbers. Maybe you're hustling on the side, maybe you're about to leave your full-time job. Whatever your situation is, it's really important to have a number in mind so that you can feel confident in your income growth this year. Excuse me. We're going to use the number $100,000 as an example because it's a good lofty goal and it's easy to divide. So knowing that our goal is $100K, let's look at what income streams we could tap into to realistically reach that number and what that looks like.
I want to do a side note about when you see other people celebrating their financial goals. Good for them, but remember, your goals are your own. Someone could be putting in so much work to meet those numbers and not having any time for their mental health or to work on fun projects that really bring them joy. So it's great to celebrate those financial successes, but focus on your own numbers and what works for you. Okay, let's talk about my 5 biggest income streams. I'm a published author, so I have book royalties coming in. I do freelance work. I also do art licensing. Then I have this business with Katie, which is Lumiere, and we do art. Nope, that's not what we do. We do online education, and then one more. Oh my gosh, an online shop. Let's start with my online shop because it's actually currently the smallest piece of the pie. I've had an Etsy shop for about 10 years, so I've been able to figure out when sales are going to be highest and when I need to put my attention into the shop to see more growth. And I have a pretty good handle on how much money I'll probably be bringing from it each year. I've taken a big step back from this online shop because it's a ton of work and because my energy just really isn't focused there right now. It's not bringing me as much joy as some of the other pieces of my business. So right now I'm putting in minimal effort to my Etsy shop, but I still see a couple sales from it. Of course, just like any income stream, the more you give, the more you get. So if you're not adding new products or uploading pictures or really focusing on marketing, then you're not going to get as much back as if you were to do those things. On average, in my Etsy shop, sales are about $30 each. Okay, I'm going to try and keep this math really simple for you. So we'll use some nice round numbers. So let's say 100,000 is our goal. If I want my Etsy shop to be 15% and I know my average shop purchase is $30, then I need to make about 500 sales a year. Let me check that math. Yeah, I did it. That's accurate math. So if we break that down per month so that we're really figuring out, okay, how much work do I need to do? How much energy do I need to put in it? That would be about 41 sales a month, which is more than one sale a day, but as we know, it can come in waves. So now I not only have an income goal, I have a sales goal too. So right now we're just looking at gross numbers. When I say gross, it definitely doesn't mean disgusting. It means the large amount before you take out all of the expenses. So now let's look back at our income pie chart. Now I really want pie. It's only 10 in the morning. Okay, so look back at your pie chart and think how much money or how much energy do I want to spend on the online shop? How much do I want it to generate? Do I want it to be a huge piece of the pie or a little piece of the pie? So take that number and then divide it by the average sale. So if you don't have a shop yet, just guess based on what products you're selling or what you think might be the most popular item, or compare similar shops and see maybe what you would be purchasing. So start somewhere and then you can divide that by 12 to see how much you need to do over each month. It's pretty simple, but it does require math. Math is hard. Calculators are great.
Another income stream in our pie is online education. So just like with the product shop, we can reverse engineer our sales goals and strategies from our income goals. So if I want online education to be, say, 25% of my income goal, That means I need to make about $25,000 per year, which is completely doable. Knowing that, I can work backwards and figure out what products and courses I can create and what marketing efforts I need to put in place to make that happen. You can test your ideas really easily by pulling out your calculator or your phone, which is also a calculator and a full computer and a mind controlling device. You can run the numbers just like we did with the product shop example. So if I'm thinking about making an ebook about watercolor painting, for example, I think, okay, I could sell that for maybe $20. So I pull out my trusty phone calculator and I divide my $25,000 goal divided by $20. So, I'm gonna have to sell 1,250 ebooks. Now let me see, what if I made a course about watercolor painting instead, an online course with a couple modules, and I could charge maybe $300 for that. So $25,000 is my goal, divided by 300, which is how much I can sell my class for, equals, okay, I only am gonna have to sell 83 of those. Your phone has a calculator. That's useful. This is also a very good example of just one of the reasons why Alana and I have decided to invest a lot of our time and focus into creating online courses versus smaller products such as ebooks. Okay, and this is slightly off topic, but I've got something really exciting that just happened to me, and you're gonna wanna see what it is. Puppy! Puppy! Is this baby Piopi? Look at him. He's so cute. Mwah.
Let's talk about freelance work. I love freelance work. It's really fun to work on a ton of different projects. Like, let's say you're doing a book cover or you're illustrating something for a magazine, branding, creating a logo. One of the great things about freelance projects are oftentimes they're a higher ticket item, so you can do less projects for more money. Although these freelance projects, because they're big and because they're a higher ticket, they are a ton of work, of course. I really like that they change pace because every project is different. I usually only take on 1 to 2 freelance projects a month, and they really range from about $1,500 to upwards of $10,000 depending on the complexity. So let's say I want to get 40% of my income from freelance projects. If we break that down, hold on, processing, do the math, that's $40,000. Calculator. Beep bop, boopity bop. Gotta get my calculator out. You know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. $40,000 divided by 12 months. $3,333.33. So that could be 1 to 2 projects. And of course, some months will have a higher ticket item, and so it really evens out. Now that I know that, I can look at what services I offer and try and build my packages around that. We said $3,333, let's round that up to $3,500 and figure out what package that I offer that people come to me a lot is that kind of fall in between. So I would say a branding package would come in there, and then you can figure out what's included that really sets it apart and makes it fit at that price point. Boom! Now our financial goal doesn't seem so lofty. It feels totally accessible. 1 client a month. You can totally do that.
Art licensing is an underutilized stream, but it's one of our favorites because it can end up creating passive income. We'll talk more about this in other videos, but licensing means renting your art for clients to use on products like greeting cards, serveware, bedding, etc. We each strive to make a couple of pieces for our licensing portfolio every couple of weeks and land maybe 1 to 2 licensing gigs a month. So if we want just 10% of our income to come from art licensing, that's $10,000 divided by 12 months, that's $833 per month. Most greeting card licensing deals range between $400 and $1,000. So if I divide my monthly income that I need to make from licensing, $833, by let's say $700 is a good average, that means, okay, 1.19. So between 1 and 2 card licensing deals per month is my goal. Just 1 or 2 and you're hitting your goal. That's amazing. Okay, cool. I can do that.
Now I want to talk about book royalties. Hold on, I'm going to get my book. This is my book, Mind Your Business. I have another book too, and this one came out in 2019? No, 2019. I was right. The great thing about working on books is that they don't have a short lifespan. They can really last a long time and continue to do well. A lot of books don't become popular until several years after they've been on the market. So once my book has been out for a while, I can start to see trends and figure out how much income I can expect from the book royalties. Plus, you can also get an advance with some publishers. So that's a topic for another day, but you might get an advance which will hold you over while you wait for the sales to increase. When you're working on books, 15% is a pretty standard royalty rate. That means if your book is $10, you're only making $1.50 per book. Hold on, I gotta pause and do math again. Calculator again. Beep bop, boopity bop. This is embarrassing. Okay, so let's say I want my book royalties to be 10% of our $100,000 pie. That means you'll need to sell 5,000 to 10,000 copies of your book. But hopefully, if you're working with a great sales team, you will have no trouble in this department. Thankfully, I'm working with a great team and I love seeing how my book is doing and finding it in other stores. Is that braggy? Buy my book. It's on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and wherever books are sold.
Breaking down these bigger goals into smaller strategies that we can track daily, weekly, monthly, that makes things feel so much more doable, especially when we layer those income streams. But don't forget, we are talking gross income, which leaves out one major thing. You still need to pay for taxes, expenses, and health insurance if you're self-employed. But don't let that stop you. Don't let it freak you out. $100K minus expenses is still likely to be a good chunk of take-home money. And like we said, totally doable if you put your mind to it and think strategically. We're not gonna go through expenses in depth now because it's a whole nother can of worms and can change a lot depending on where you live and which income streams are the biggest pieces of your pie. But give us a shout in the comments if this is something you'd like to hear more about in future videos. We'd also love to hear which of these income streams you're hoping to implement this year and what kind of goals you have for your business.
Want more real numbers about pricing your work from real artists? We put together a guide called Price with Purpose. We share 25 examples with 25 other artists of real pricing scenarios, from freelance work to licensing and signage. It's insane. I reference it all the time, and we really expose what the project entails and how they got to those numbers. We have projects that are about $200, $600, I can't remember, all the way up to an $80,000 project. It's amazing. All the details are included about how big the client was, what rights were given, if they had any complications during it. It's amazing. Plus, we walk you through our own process of how we price our work so that you can start to feel more confident when you price yours. I get money. I get money. Katie does a lot of dancing in her bloopers. So don't forget to subscribe so we will see you in the next video.
Subscribe. Everybody's doing it. I'll do a little dance if you subscribe. That's my dance. I bet you're glad you subscribed for that.
We are artists who mean business, and we're in this with you. Boom! That was rough. That was a lot of math to do it for my poor brain.
Bye!